For EP, climbing walls and handholds is our business, but that's really not why we're here. We're here to enrich people's lives and introduce climbing to the world. We know that once somebody gets an opportunity to go indoors and climb on a climbing wall, that they're going to be hooked and they're going to be a climber for life.
Hello and welcome to Haiyang in China. After a brief stint in North America, we are now back on Asian soil for the next stage of the IFSC 2014 season with a World Cup in each of our 3 disciplines. Over the next 2 days, we will see the second Boulder and Speed World Cup in China and the first Lead World Cup of this year. After a vibrant opening ceremony, the city of Haiyang, home to 690,000 people, held its breath as athletes from all reaches of the globe descended upon the local venue and prepared to ascend our 3 different competition walls. Well, good evening, Asia. Good morning to Europe, and hello to anybody who's crazy enough to be watching us from America right now, anywhere on that side of the world, through Canada and South Americas as well. Hello to all of you that might be joining us live on this stream now. We are here and getting ready for our bouldering final here in Haiyang. Just a few moments' time, the athletes will be emerging for the presentation of our final 12, then into the observation, and then into full coverage as we move through this final here in China. The penultimate final on the Bouldering World Cup circuit 2014. Just one more to go after this, and that is in Laval in just a week's time. So we are getting started. Just an introduction from me. Hello, my name is Daniel Finn, and I'll be with you all the way through this final here. And joining me, we have the pleasure of the company of Miss Petra Klingler all the way through this event. Petra, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
How were the blocks earlier? For anybody that missed the semi-finals earlier on today, what was it like, and how did you make of them?
Well, I found them really interesting and cool for climbing. Yeah, much better than a qualification, for sure. I had better boulders, but I think they spared them for finals.
It seemed to me that the female problem 1 seemed to be the one that everyone had to make to stand a chance of getting into the finals, and then it got extremely hard after that. F2, F3 and F4 just seemed really, really tough blocks.
Well, 1 was for sure the easiest, but all the others were possible. One of the easier one was 4, which was a bit of dynamic style, compression in the arete, so yeah, had everything.
Well, we're going to see whether that's stepping up even further as we get into our finals now, but it's time to introduce our athletes as they come out to say hello to us. And here's the first of our female athletes, the top 6, Miss Bühler of Germany. She's won gold medals so far this year. Was very, very nervous earlier on and managed to pick Petra to the post by just 1 attempt on a bonus, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. Next up for us then in the men's, in 6th place is Chon Jong-won. He's seen success earlier on in this year, a 4th place at one of our previous Bouldering World Cups. Next out for the women then here today. We have Nanaka Mio next out, following her very shortly as well. A double turnaround here for Narasaki Tomoa. Next up, Anna Stor as well here. Tomoa, we've seen putting on a good performance at previous World Cup events. Next out, Sean McCall. Our current European lead champion, Dinara Fakhridinova, here putting on a good show in the bouldering as well. Stefano Gazzolfi, also a lead climber, making it through in 2nd place after the qualifying rounds in the semi-finals yesterday. Akio Noguchi then, next out for the women. Guillaume Glaron-Mondet for the men, for France. And the penultimate 2, the highest to qualify for our finals here, Shauna Coxey of Great Britain. Only female athlete to have topped all 4 of the blocks earlier on today. And Jan Hoya, the only male athlete to have topped more than 1 of the blocks in the men's semi-finals as well. Here are your top 12 athletes getting ready to compete on the 8 blocks that are here in front of us. 4 for the men, 4 for the women. They now move over to start their observation time. momentarily we'll be inviting over Thomas Alexi to talk us through what we're looking at here. So looking like an interesting set here as well. We're going to talk more obviously as we move through the rest of the competition, have a chat with Petra about the technical side of things. But let's say hello briefly to one of our route setters here, Thomas Alexi. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Just the last day for bouldering, so fine now.
So talk us through these couple of blocks we're looking at the moment. We're going to start with female problem 1. What are they looking at here, and how are they going to go about trying to crack it?
Yeah, this first one for women is double dyno at the beginning. For the smallest one, I think there is also another way. Just throw the yellow holes into the black volumes on the roof. And then another method is just to go directly to the double dyno to the gray one. And then you grab it to the next one on the left side. You put a heel on it and then cross to the first pinch one among the 3, all the same holes. And you put a heel again on the gray one. And then you put the right hand to the next yellow one, the big one, pinch.
The dish, and then up onto the top. And how positive is the top?
How positive? It's quite positive. I think the more positive than the second one. For sure, the last move is in the upper part is the hardest move.
Just to quickly jump over before they move on to M1, give us a rough idea of what we're looking at on that one.
Our idea was like start from the yellow banana and 3 marks on it. One hand on the right side on the orange pyramid, and then you swing, make a big cross to the second one volume with the thumbs screw on. Then at the same time swing to the another red volumes, and then you grab at the bonus holes,
is it
put
quite
a
a powerful
heel.
block, or would you say it's technical, powerful? What kind of style would you say it is?
Little bit turning move, something like that.
Okay, just because we're tight on time now as well, we're going to go over onto our next one. So let's have a look at F2, which is on the far end over
F2
there.
is for women. It's I mean about the style. It's a crimply style. It's a very hard move at the beginning. You put left heel, left leg with heel hook, and then you grab it with the one shoulder move to the big ball. Then push your right feet into the starting volumes hold, and then you play. You just make either cross or match on the second hold on the first volume, and then you grab it the next shoulder move on the second ball. Then put your feet on the very small footholds on the blue wall. Put your right feet, make a big cross by right hand to the second screw on the second ball, and then make undercling on the first, and then right hand put to the last screw on match, and then just to finish.
And then onto M2 quickly.
F2, it's
a lot of volumes on this one.
This is the volumes one. At the beginning is a big cross with the use the heel hook on the right foot. You make a big cross to the violet one, screw on, and then you put the right feet on the big footholds. Then very quickly grab it, the pinch one, big blue one. Then it's the hardest part. You can go by right hand to the volumes, because if you take it by left, it's the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then it's the upper part is quite easy to finish. And let's.
Okay, so let's head over now to where the athletes have just moved on to. We're going to go to F3
F3,
first,
yes,
with
F3.
the donut start.
Yes, from this big hall, big round, and 4 marks. Just yes, a little bit jump at the beginning, then you grab it the first volume in the roof, then match, and then first goes by right hand to the second volume, just at the edge, at the end of the roof. Then you make a tool hook, both by both legs, and then swing to the left by left hand.
Is
Then
that
you
the
make
bonus here?
yes, with the bonus mark, yes. And then you should put a heel on the second on the right side volume. Then you grab it by first right hand to the to the last volume, gray and orange, and then you can play with tool hook with both leg on the volume on the right side, and you just go with the tool, both leg tool hook, and then grab it pinch, and then just swing to the last big hold.
Briefly over onto M3, but just quickly through this one, what kind of style are we looking at on this? It looks like a compression, maybe?
A little bit compression is a, it's a little bit shoulder move, but it's more contain shoulder, a little bit compression, but looks like this is the mirror one, like kind of symmetric. They maybe don't understand at the beginning how to play with this one, but this is one of the easiest one in this final run.
So mainly just difficult to read this one for the first moment while you're attempting it.
How hard?
Okay, let's jump over then. We're going to go to F4, I think now. Where the
F4, just yes, yes. You start by two hands from the first volume, and your feet are on the just downstairs, and then you prepare. You just grab it, the red screw on, put your left feet on it on the second volume on the left side. Then prepare to the mantle. Go to the pink one, very big pinch by left hand. Push your right feet to the first volume. Then you match. You play with the banana, the green banana, and then left again to the pinch, the pink one, and then right hand again to the banana. And then this is the hardest move. There is now it's two methods. Either put the left feet on the small green footholds, and then by left hand again to the bonus, or it's possible to make a hole on the big pink one and make a cross, but this is the hardest way.
So hardest move is after the bonus and up towards that hemisphere, then and upwards. Let's jump across now to M4 and have a look at this one. This looks like a really interesting one for the men to finish up on.
Yes, yes. At the beginning, this is kind of mantle. You need to put a left leg and then make a mantle. Push your left hand on the left hand on the big green ball, and then you should turn just to the direction to the audience, and then you can prepare to the jump to the bonus one, big bonus, and then at the last part is very interesting. You need play like put your left feet on the second volume with the green banana, then start to turn again to the audience, and then you play with the second banana, and then turn again to the front the wall, and then you just grab it the last hole, big hole.
So what kind of style would you say this one is? Is it more about flexibility?
Flexibility is strange, little bit strange.
And at that stage of the competition, I suppose that's an endurance thing as well, because they're going to be exhausted.
Yes, I think this one for the last problem is okay, and I hope 2 climbers, maybe 3, will did this.
And how long have you had to set all of these blocks? How long has the team been here setting?
We set 6 days. There was also, we set with Romain Cabezut from France, just 2 international setters, and help. We'll have help from the Chinese route setting team who made the course. We have 6 more people just to help. They help us during the qualification round, but we set both with Roman the semi and the final round. So long time, longer than usual.
And it's gone well?
Yes, I think we just a little bit. In the semi it was a little bit hard, but in the men semi, but I think generally I'm satisfied about our job.
Great. We're looking forward to having a look at it. Thank you very much for talking to us, Thomas. I'm going to let you go and start stressing about the competition now.
I just want to pass hello to my family, especially to my daughter Maya. Just hello.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Thank you, Thomas. So while we are waiting before our athletes are coming out, let's have a brief look at how they got on earlier on today then. This is the semi-finals that Thomas Alessi was just talking about. Let's have a look at the women's results first. Here it is then, bringing it up on your screen now. Oh no, men's first we're having here. So we have Jan Hoyer in first place with 2 tops there in 3 attempts, 3 bonuses in 4. He was the only male athlete to have topped more than 1 of the blocks. And as you can see there, our top 6 are the only ones to have actually topped a single block during the semi-finals. It was a definite top one for the men. Guillaume Glaramondet in second place then with a flash and 3 tops in 4. Stefano Gazolfi in third with a flash and 3 bonuses in 9. Sorry, 3 bonuses in 4 for Guillaume. Sean McCall with 1 top in 2 attempts, 3 bonuses in 7. Narasaki Tomoa with 1 top in 2 attempts, 2 tops in 2. And then Chong Jung Won, 1 top in 3 attempts, 2 bonuses in 3. That's the men's top 6. And you can probably see there as well, Dimitri Dima missing out on a place in the top 6 here. It's going to really affect his overall rankings. Shauna Coxey here then in first place now as well. All 4 of the blocks topped earlier on today. She did that in a total of 6 attempts and 4 bonuses in 6 as well. Akia Noguchi there in second place, just missing out on it. Dinara Fakhridinova, Anna Storr, Mina Naka, and Eula Berm. Unfortunately, we're going to have to come away from that now to get started on our first 2 blocks. So, Petra, hello, welcome back. How are you? A bit of a break for you to get started. Quick start there from Eula Berm. She knows what she's got to do. What do you think and what are you making of F1 at the moment?
Well, it seems like a pretty far jump. The holds are good, but not in the right position, I would say. And as we can see for Eula, it's also quite a high start, so she already has to jump for the first hold.
Are you thinking we're going to see more of this quick 1-2 that she's trying for at the moment?
I think that would be the plan, actually. I can't see really the hold on the volume, but I guess it's not the best one, so you probably have to go one-on and on compression. But I'm sure there are girls who are strong enough to hold the...
It's looking like she's changing her mind and trying not to go straight out for the bonus there and trying to just make the dyno with the one that's underneath more the black pyramid. You can see that there is a little bit of a hold there, but she's basically just getting fingertips on it. There's not much of a ledge there for her at all.
I mean, you have to jump pretty hard and you have to swing coming out as well. As we can see with her, she
belly flopped onto the mat.
Exactly.
What about M1 then? What are you making of this one?
One looks interesting. Small holds, a lot of field volumes. The pinches we had already, I think, in semi-finals for the men in number 1 as well.
The yellow ones at the
two
Yeah, they were on the one
lost.
where actually where F1 is now. Yeah.
Exactly. And I heard they're not too good and they get slippery pretty fast if the temperature changes. So,
well, we're quite lucky that it's getting a little bit cooler now, but how was the humidity earlier on today? As Eula manages to stick that double dyno now this time, now out onto the bonus, up to a heel hook with the left and straight up into these dishes, wide pinch there with the left hand, wedging the foot in there, underneath. What about this top here? We'll go back to the humidity thing in a moment. This final hold, what do you make of it?
well, they're pretty bad. As a little help, you have the spokes on them, but they're not much of a help. And I guess they're also pretty slippery. There's
It's
not
looking
much.
like staying right and sending the left, and grabbing on the left is the easiest way.
And I think it's also pretty much about the balance on the heel hook. like pushing over the hip. And yeah, flexibility for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So talk us through the humidity that's happened earlier on today then. How quickly did you notice that the holds were getting? I mean, were they like that as soon as you came out, or?
Well, one could really feel it when it started to rain in the middle of the semifinals. It cooled down, and one could feel it on the warm-up wall already that the grip was a bit better. But afterwards, the temperature rose again, and it was really warm, getting warm, and after that, well, for me, I was just slipping around everywhere. But
That seemed to be a problem for a lot of people towards especially towards the end of the semi-finals earlier on.
exactly, and I heard from spectators that they really think that, especially with the men, a lot of Boulder weren't sent because it was too warm.
Because it was quite a tough set of blocks anyway.
Exactly,
You know?
yeah.
So going back onto M1 then at the moment, we've got Chon Jung-woon on this one at the moment. He was recently doing very, very well over on the North America section, the little mini tour that we have from Toronto into Vail. Oh, and unfortunately just falling down there. Just to explain what that rush was right at the very end. If you are new to the sport and you don't understand how this exactly works, we're looking for the most amount of tops from an athlete in the least amount of attempts. So we want to see these guys getting up to the top of the wall in as few falls as possible. In the finals, they have 4 minutes to do that, but it's a 4 minutes plus basis, which is why Chon Jung-woon was just rushing towards the wall at the end there, because when that 4 minutes counter runs down, after that point, if they are on the wall and off the mats, they're allowed to carry on their final attempt. So it's essentially as many minutes as they can hold onto the wall if they want to make it a longer attempt, but it's a 4+ minute basis. And if they're off the mat, they are allowed to carry on climbing. Good first attempt there from the Nakamio. Down on the mat here again now. So talk us through, you've had a couple of close calls recently with these 6 places. How's that been?
Well, it's hard to always be like the odd one out, last not to get in finals, but I must say, overall, it's a good season for me, and I'm satisfied to at least get to the 7th place. I mean, others will wish to have a 7th place.
Exactly, and multiple times in that 7th place, and missing out by just bonuses.
Yeah.
Well, no, sorry, attempts on a bonus, and one, in this case, one, and you said the same thing for
It was the same in Toronto.
Yeah. Very quick 1-2. We have seen that 1-2 now on this one. She didn't spend very long holding in there on that
Just
first move.
kind of getting off the swing a little bit.
Are we thinking the toughest part of this one is going to be the double dyno?
I guess the upper part, but I think it's also depending on the style. Because some like to jump and others don't. So I guess, if I may say so, Akio might have more problems for the jump than on top, but I must say she improved impressively in jumping.
So here now with Narasaki Tomoa. Earlier on today, 1 top in 2 attempts, 2 bonuses in 2. Made him qualify for the finals in 5th place ahead of Chon Jung-woon. His attempt now on M1 here. As we see Nakamio go for another attempt. So Yula Worm, 1 top so far in 5 attempts, 1 bonus in 5. Nakamio currently still on the wall with 1 bonus in 2 attempts at the moment. That's the last minute alarm. Let's see whether we're going to get a top out of her as well. Finding it tough to hold on to that dynamic. And no bonuses from either of our first two athletes in the men's now.
That was the first one.
Interesting different tactic on that one. What do you think this first sequence is on the men's?
I think it would be the best if the toe would stick on. But as you could see, he was using kind of the edge of not really nicely made together flats for standing on to just kind of hold the swing, but it seems hard if you can't stick the toe on.
Nakamio literally just made it back onto the wall then, a little kind of leapfrog jump. Oh, and unfortunately doesn't quite hold. That dyno after an impressive attempt, well, an impressive few attempts there from her. That's one bonus so far on the second attempt for her first block. No top, no bonus so far in the men's on any of the attempts on M1. We now move over onto our next male athlete to come out, which will be Sean McCall. What about height advantages of some of these things? On F1, for example, do you think it would help to be a taller or a shorter athlete?
Well, I think it's for sure easier if you're taller because you just can reach the starting holds. Because we saw she had to actually grab the footholds to get up to the starting hold positions. So you kind of do one more than taller ones. But in total, I don't think that the height is a really advantage or disadvantage because you train on what you need and what you don't need.
Yeah, if you have a weakness because of a height thing, then you just keep working on that one until you've sorted it out. So Sean very quickly trying to pop up with the right hand to get up onto that higher volume there. Doesn't want to spend too much time down low. Anna's had her first pop attempt on F1. No such luck, and now she's having a think of it again. How aware are you as an athlete when you're up there of how many attempts you've made?
Well, me, I'm not really counting my attempts. I'm just kind of listening to myself if I manage another attempt, if it's like likely that I manage to top it out, or if I rather spare my power for next Boulder.
Because we see certain athletes like Anna's doing it right now, that she knows that she's got the 4 minutes to play with here, and that she, if she's up and she's made that jump, then she can spend the time up there. We saw Nakamio coming out a moment ago and expending quite a lot of energy on multiple attempts straight after another, and it's interesting that some of the other athletes will take up to 30 seconds in between attempts. Do you think that's because they're conscious of how many attempts they've made?
I guess rather that they're really trying to analyze the boulder again and the movement, how they have to do the move, or maybe mentally go through the jump. And a tougher Anna.
Very, very quick as soon as she made the jump.
Well, for myself, I like to just go through the boulder again, maybe find another solution, or maybe just do a jump on the mat. Be really focused on the legs also to push off and not just pulling with the arms, because it's really a lot of it comes out of the legs for a jump. So yeah, I think others do it as well, not just me, so yeah.
Well, that waiting on the mat has definitely helped her there. She's moved up into first place now. Anna Storr, 1 top in 3 attempts, 1 bonus in 3. Next to Jule Worms, 1 top in 5, 1 bonus in 5. Just left now then with Sean McCall on M1. A couple of attempts gone by so far. Let's see how he's going to get on with this point. As of yet, no one managing the bonus on M1. How do you think someone like Yannick, for example, is going to get on with M1 a little bit later on? Being taller, he's going to make the lower section, I would suggest, easier, because he's got the reach and the ability to move quickly through that section. He can just power through it. But once he gets up to the bonus, which is that tiny little crimp plate, and moving up to the top on an overhang, do you think that's going to be a disadvantage for him?
Well, I think, as you said, the lower part will be a bit easier because he's taller and can let the foot in the ring long. on the top, you need to be a bit flexible, or yeah, maybe as you see with Sean for the heel hook, it's important to be flexible, or it's an advantage to be smaller. But I guess Jan will do it anyway, because he's got such a lot of power. Yeah. Or do it like this.
It was risky, but he went for it and it paid off. Sean McCall with the top there, first to achieve the bonus as well, just as the timer runs out, which keeps us very quickly moving on to our next set. One top in 4 attempts for Sean McCall. Bonus on the 4th attempt as well. We're about to welcome Dinara Fakhretdinova out onto the field. And for the men, we're going to be joined by Stefano Ghisolfi. If you do want to get in touch with us, you should know where to go by now. But if you don't, you can do so on Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC. Please don't hesitate to get in touch with us here. If you do have any questions for either myself or Petra, who's with us all the way through this final, Miss Petra Klingler here with us. Very, very, very nearly in this final tonight. So it's a privilege to have her here with us. Stefano, I'm used to seeing more in lead than other things.
Yeah, I would say both of them we are used to seeing in lead.
Oh, Dinara as well, yeah. I hadn't put the two together. But I have seen Dinara kind of a few times doing the bouldering side of things. And
yeah, I think
Stefano less.
Yeah, I think it's his first time doing a Boulder World Cup. And I heard him say also that, like, he came into semis like on 20th place, so like last to come in semis, and he was joking about, yeah, going into finals and everything. So I think he couldn't believe, like, when the results came out.
Do you think we're going to see him in Boulder World Cups a little bit more often after this? Do you think it's enough inspiration to do more?
Maybe, but I think he's more passionate about lead climbing. So, but maybe 1 or 2, or I guess he's considering to do combination in a World Championship.
So this is a good training exercise for him to get used to competing in
I
it.
actually thought he already did combination once, but maybe with another Italian. I don't know.
Now Dinara, as a lead climber, predominantly is going to be a little bit less inclined to enjoy a dynamic move like this, right?
Well, I know actually from herself that she likes dynos.
Oh, right, okay.
But
So then she went into lead climbing.
probably no. But as you can see, she isn't the tallest. So I guess in this position she's got a little disadvantage, but I'm sure she could do it.
Yeah, she seems to be just a little bit low at the moment where she's getting up there. As you say, she's a lot shorter than some of the other athletes.
She can reach the hold, but the whole body center is lower than from the others, so she can't really get enough weight on the holds.
1 minute 18 seconds left on the clock for these guys. Stefano down as well now. Trying to figure out what he's doing here. We saw Sean take quite a while to figure out this lower section of the wall and read the beater on it.
Yeah, I think it's possible to do it in different ways. We saw Sean match on the top and trying to go dynamically, but in the end he took the swing and made a heel hook next to the right hand, so the starting hand. I don't know
Which is the way that Stefano's just been trying it.
He did a totally new one actually. He kind of did a mixture of both.
Was it not the heel on the panel here on the start hold? Is that not how Sean made it?
No, he did it like this, but Sean kind of put his weight first more over to the right, and Stefano keeps it more to the left and tries to get a heel up then.
What would the advantage be for someone like Sean moving over to the right-hand side on that kind of move?
You get more weight on the heel hook afterwards, so you really can pull over. But I think it's not that easy to get the weight over because the holds on top isn't too good.
Unfortunately, no top there for Stefano. The beat was just gone. Here goes Dinara then for the last pop. A little bit too low again, unfortunately. No bonus, no top there for either of those two athletes. We get ready to move on to the next one. Just a shout out to some people joining us in then. Hello to Sheila, who's back, Sheila McCarran, saying Sean's looking unhappy with that left knee. Well, we're going to keep an eye on him now and see how he gets on with it as he moves through this competition. I've seen a few people on here already saying that. John Redshaw, shout out to you. Thank you for being with us. And Sam Marshall also. And the circuit climbing, I think I know who that is. And I know where they are and what they're up to. Asking whether we're going to be in Laval next weekend. We will, of course, be broadcasting from Laval, but I don't know whether I'll get to see you there. Eddie, I hope you're having a good time there with the Aussies at the moment. So, Akio Noguchi and Gijón Clément-Mondet. Now, you were saying earlier, Petra, that Akio might find this one a bit not to her liking.
Yeah, well, the first jump on top, I guess it's totally her style. But as I said, she can really kind of surprise us with jumping at the moment. Easy.
First time. I was talking to Tim about her, one of the judges here earlier on today, was saying that it's really interesting to watch her climb because she's one of those ones that it looks effortless and just utterly like a fluid motion when she does it.
Yeah.
But then sometimes she'll just hit these ones and she'll just flail all over the place and just not manage to get anywhere. If she's looking like she's comfortable, then you know she's going to go to the top. But for example, on F4 earlier on today, she just couldn't get her head around it at all. She just couldn't figure out what she was doing or how. And it was very sort of staccato and stuttery. But when she's in a good position, it's just such a fluid. It's like a lot like Anna. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks really so easy and it's just impressive how she can handle also everything with her head, I think. A lot with her is in her head.
Well, she's got to be in a good position mentally at the moment because she'll know that that's just moved her up into first place, I'd imagine.
Probably she knows it.
Anna Storr now dropping down into second. Nuala Verm into third. A flash on problem one for Akio Noguchi.
It's incredible. I'm impressed.
Guillaume just tying his laces there. This is a different brushing tactic here that he's working with.
Yeah, I think this is actually from Fontainebleau, where he comes from.
I think he's actually trying to get rid of the bugs.
Really?
Well, I was speaking to Shauna, and she was saying that yesterday, whenever she got on the wall, she was having to look up ahead at the next hold and blow the bugs off before putting her hand on.
Yeah, there are a lot of them, but I chose to just smash them. But, yeah.
Some of the athletes then from earlier on today in the semi-finals, waiting and watching as we move through our finals here. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying from back home. Let us know if you are and where you're joining us from on the Twitter feed. You can do so using the hashtag IFSCWC. We have Petra Klingler here with us all the way through tonight, so if you have any questions for her, send them in. As Guillaume gets ready to make another attempt, 1 minute alarm about to sound.
I think his biggest problem here is that his toe doesn't stick on. That's why he's...
Do you think that's a boot thing, or...?
Yeah, it depends a bit on your strength to pull against it, but also the shoe. Kind of some have the rubber on the right position, and with some shoes the buckle is just over the wrong place for this special move. So
yeah, he's going for a heel here instead, and that's putting really low. I have seen quite a few athletes change shoes as well, carry two pairs out. Is that a done thing?
Yes.
Is that a normal thing?
I would say it's not really normal, but there are a couple of them doing it. Exactly because of such problems, or with some the heel doesn't fit perfectly or the toe doesn't fit perfectly. And yeah, I was thinking about it as well once, but for me it would be a too big a stress.
Having to change within that amount of time. Yeah, I can imagine.
For finals, it's easier because you know the boulders. You may choose before already. But if you don't know the boulder, to change in the time you have, it would be too big stress for me.
So just a shout out to some people joining us now then. Katie saying stayed up to watch the semis, fell asleep, overslept, and then missed the first bite of the finals. Looking forward to the IFSC back in Europe. It's the first case I've ever heard of climbing narcolepsy. Nice to have you with us. Thanks for being with us. Simon Chandler saying Akio is just amazing. Let's hope Shauna can match that. Well, here she is to give it a go. Out now on F1 as Jan Hoyer makes a start on M1. And as we thought, yep, Jan's just going to campus and just muscle his way through this lower section. It's going to be the upper section, if anything, that gives him a tricky time of things here. But he is so strong at the moment, mentally and physically. No, there it is. That's a flash for Jan. That's exactly what he needed at this stage of the competition. It's going to put him in a good mental state. It's going to allow him much more rest time now. He can get behind. He hasn't spent the multiple attempts that some of our other athletes have.
And close one from Shauna. I guess she's going to stick it next time.
So Jan with a flash then puts him up into first place. Sean McCall down into second with one top in 4. And that is the rankings for the men after the first block here, because all of the other 4 male athletes have actually failed to get a bonus or the top on M1.
Nice one from Shauna.
Yeah, managing it this time.
And this
Almost
time
effortless.
yeah,
she
easy.
overshot it, I think, and it gave her the extra swing that made her it gave her the extra momentum onto the bonus.
Yeah, just hope she's gonna top it out. Nice solution.
Nice finish for Shauna there as well. Was that 3 or 4?
3, I think.
Have a little look here. It was in 3. So Shauna Coxey now up into second place behind Akio Noguchi, who has 1 flash in first place there. Shauna Coxey with 1 top in 3, 1 bonus in 3. Anna Storr with 1 top in 3, 1 bonus in 3. But due to countback, Shauna taking the lead here. Jula Worm in 4th place with 1 top in 5 attempts, 1 bonus in 5. Nonaka Mio in 5th with 1 bonus in 2, no top so far. And Dinara with no bonus, no top at the moment. So we're on to block 2 now then, M2 and F2. M2 has a lot of volumes on it. What are you making of this?
A lot of volumes is often pretty confusing. So you really have to have a good solution, but it also gives you some freedom to cheat a bit or find other solutions. Then,
Cheat?
It's not cheating, but it's not climbing as the route setters thought. Because sometimes just a knee bar or something else can help you so much to skip a hold, or you can hold the volume as an undercling, which route setters wouldn't think. Or, yeah, there are multiple choices.
And on F2 now we're onto this crimp section. So Eula just pulling up onto the wall now to deal with these crimps. What are you making of this one?
It's a similar move we saw already in the qualification, in the semi-finals, in the first Boulder. Like push up in the shoulder and take the foot up. I don't actually know which would be the best solution, like she tried now to extend or to match or crossover. I think there's gonna be some who choose the solution to match there. But as I heard, I think from the route setter, the idea is to cross over, then go into the shoulder. It looks hard.
What about the spread of different problems and the different techniques that are employed in it? When you're working as an athlete in a final, they're usually trying to show something that's technical, something that's dynamic, something that's power-based. Do you find that it's a good thing or a bad thing that you touch on all of the different styles?
I find it good because in the end, the best climber, I think, is the one also best in all kind of styles. And
Does it allow you to rest as an athlete in between? You know, if you've just done a really, like we've just done a dynamic one, there's a lot expanding from the legs there, and then a bit of a power up for the top section. For something like this, where it's more in the fingers and the slower movements, does it give you the time off?
You can surely also set more harder boulders because of the different muscles you use. But also I think it's better for the athletes because all the athletes in the final probably will have one boulder which suit them better. So I mean, it's not really nice to climb a final and not top anything. So it's like this, you can kind of, the chance is higher that all athletes have a chance to top something.
Looking at the spread in front of you and the ones that we've got to get through for the women here, which is the one that you would say suits your style the most?
The first one. Yeah, I like
you
to
like
jump.
The dinos?
Yeah, I like jumps. Otherwise, the last one looks nice as well, like powerful, bit shoulder moves. Yeah, I would say these two would be my best problems.
So going on to F2 and the kind of style that Yuda is having to work with at the moment, out of our athletes that are here, which one would you say is best fitted for something like that?
I would say that Dinara has a good chance on that one because she's a bit smaller as well. I guess she's going to bring her foot up really easily here, as well as she can really hold crimps well. But also Akio is strong on crimps. She's strong on everything at the moment, like really good. But otherwise, I don't really know. I would say Dinara.
Well, we move on to our next set here now then. The upper section on F2, once you're past the bonus, what sequence are we looking at here for that one?
Well, I must say I heard a bit from the route setter, but me, I would probably go for a left hand from the bonus hold, and then up and kind of match again.
You're going to match on the purple plate in the middle there?
No, on the bonus, probably. Match on the bonus and then match on the second but last hold again. But yeah, it's not that easy. So I think it's thought that when crosses over onto the smaller one, from the bonus, cross over, and then take the bonus as undercling or like change the hand and then go up to the next one.
You can see the bonus just creeping in on your screen now, guys, if you're watching back at home. Nakamiya, only 17 years old, from Tokyo here. World ranked 9th at the present moment in time. She came 4th in Toronto this year. And also 6th at Innsbruck, so she's no stranger to finals. So this section here, this is what you were talking about.
Yeah, now I think she should turn her hand on her left hand on the bonus to be able to reach up, but could be possible like this as well.
So she's trying to keep the left hand on the bonus at just then and then push straight up for the right to the...
And actually just taking the other hold on the one on the volume just to be able to change the hand or turn the hand around more in an undercling.
How positive is that looking for matching on the penultimate hold, the purple one?
Not good.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of space.
I was surprised that you said I'd probably match on it because I was just looking at it thinking, yeah, it just looks like such a flat plate. There's hardly anything on it.
There's not much place to change, but I'm not sure if there's like 2 places to hold the hole, so I mean, somehow you have to match. But you also have pretty good footholds.
That's what I was...
where you can kind of sit on a bit, or even do a heel hook on the left.
The one on the bonus volume that you can see there?
Yeah.
At the very top. on the left.
Yeah, exactly. To heel hook on that one, or just stand on the other volume, the lower one.
Okay, so up with the left here now then for Mio. The 1 minute alarm has sounded, so these guys just taking a bit of a break. Probably before one final push on this one. Arasaki Tomoa for Japan on M2. A little bit of luck so far on this one. Let's see whether we can capitalize on it. Again, just 17 years old. This is his first final for us with the IFSC. Just to throw some fun things out there at the moment. I was mentioning earlier about Dmitry Sharafutinov not making the finals this time. What that means on the overall rankings for the end of the year is that if Jan wins at this competition, if Jan now takes the gold home, in Laval, if Dmitry wins, Jan Haiyang can come second, third, or even fourth. He doesn't have to even be on the podium to still win the overall World Cup ranking. If Jan wins at this one. We were doing some quick maths. And the other interesting thing is that in the women's, if Anna wins here at this one, there is going to be roughly 5 to 10 points between the top 3 athletes, which is Shauna Coxey, Akio Noguchi, and Anna Storr, meaning that it will be basically whoever beats who at Laval for the top 3 places. The entire podium will be decided at Laval. So it's going to be a very, very intense end to the year, Laval, coming up for you. Just some fun facts for you, as we welcome our next 2 athletes out. Speak of the devil, Anna Storr now on F2 and Sean McCall on M2. Would you say this kind of blocky style is more towards Sean's preference?
With Sean, it's really hard to say. He kind of managed to do everything.
Well, including every discipline as well.
Yeah.
Because he was speed climbing earlier today.
I don't actually know how he did in speed, but
his fastest time today was about 9 seconds. Which is very impressive.
it's not bad, yes.
Oh, just to keep you guys updated on that one as well, unfortunately, due to a couple of technical hitches earlier on today, it's fortunate for some, we're going to be having our speed finals in between our lead, semis and finals tomorrow. They weren't today, you haven't missed anything. After Sean just obliterates this block. Very, very nice from Sean. Great performance on M2 there. It's not going to be an easy ride for Jan here. He's going to have to fight for it. But yes, just to keep you updated, these speed finals, if you are excited for them, you haven't missed them. We've got them coming up tomorrow for you. Had to be postponed, unfortunately, due to some technical errors with some of the timing systems here at the venue. Basically, the clocks went off. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. Anna spending time on the ground again here. How was her first attempt, Petra?
Well, it wasn't too good. She kind of lost her balance with the right foot up. Tried to cross over then, like Nanaka. I wonder how she's gonna do her second attempt. Same again. Yeah, it's hard to kind of take up the right foot there. You have to be flexible, that you can still kind of keep your balance and the body close to the wall. Already in the wall again. I wonder if she tries something else. Similar
Yeah, it looks like
attempt
she's
as Yule.
struggling to even get up on that left there before moving on to the bonus.
Yeah, this attempt looked really kind of unstable.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's at least the second time today that I've seen Anna really struggling on a block that I didn't think we'd see her struggling on. Like F1, sorry, not F1, F2 earlier on today was one that just kind of took me as surprise. It took her quite a few attempts to get her head around it. She seemed to be struggling on the earlier stages more than I'm used to her seeing her. Do you think there's anything to do with fatigue with some of these athletes as well in terms of how the performance does change from event to event? Because we are coming to the end of a long season now for bouldering.
Yeah.
Does it set into your bones after a while as an athlete?
Well, sure it does, because you don't have enough time for training anymore because you're traveling so much, and also traveling, it's tiring. Just from one time zone to the other time zone and back again, and barely any rest at home or time to train somewhere. Yeah, it's exhausting. So I guess it's the same for her.
Well, unfortunately, the timer has run down here, and that means that Anna will not be taking, I think, even the bonus on the second problem there.
No, but I think
Definitely
the
not
only
at all.
one who took the bonus was Japanese girl.
Mio.
Yeah.
Yep, so far, Anna remains as she was on the previous round. Very impressive performance from Sean McCall a few moments ago, though. That's just moved him up into first place with 2 tops in 5 attempts so far now then. Managing to flash the second problem. As a lead athlete for these two guys coming out, I know you said that you thought Dinara's going to do pretty well here, or she should, as it's more into her style. But what about Stefano on a block like this as a lead male athlete on this kind of block?
If he reads same as Sean, I guess he has a chance to do it.
Well, Sean was very quick onto that sloper.
Yeah, he got it to cross under, as Solby does now.
Yeah, Stefano's doing the same here.
Yeah, but it looks still hard. And maybe also the power is up for Chisolfi, because he did the lead qualification as well yesterday. So, and if you don't plan something like this, it can be exhausting. Nice run from Dinara.
Yeah, looking very good here. Here's the match that you were talking about. Let's see how she manages. Oh, so close. Penultimate hold, one hand onto the top.
Yep. But I think she can do that.
The match not too bad there. It seemed like she was kind of comfortable enough to go for it onto the top at least.
Exactly, yes. We have another try here from Zolfi.
And the difference between Sean and Stefano, did Sean make that a little bit more static, that move onto the sloper hold?
Yeah, exactly.
Stefano seems to be kind of pushing for it a little bit too much.
Yeah, too dynamic. I think Sean could really kind of get a pressure on both feet, be in between of these two.
Dinara's struggling to get up there again now at the moment. She's got 1 minute and 57 seconds left on her clock. We've already seen her on the penultimate hold here. Okay, question from Katie. Petra, I'm going to fire this one at you. Has Anna dipped in a bit in form, or are the others stronger, or has the style of the problems changed? Out of those three, what would you say has happened towards Anna throughout this season? She was so strong last year.
Yeah, I think it's all three of it a bit. Surely Akia got really strong. She worked on her weaknesses. And we also have the Shauna got really stronger this year. I think also mentally, especially mentally stronger.
Well, it was interesting. I was reading in the Circuit magazine actually recently about, it was an interview with Shauna about that. She was saying that her breaking her leg at Magic Woods, she's taken it as one of the best things that's happened to her because it's given her the time away, the time to focus on training again and to appreciate what she's doing a little bit more. She's come back with a bit of a stronger mental attitude, so I'd agree with you completely on that one.
Yeah, I guess so. A lot of athletes say this, that when they are injured, they have time to work on weaknesses. We have Dinara here again on her last move. Hopefully she's gonna make it this time. One hand there and second hand.
So Dinara with the top, she needed that one to get herself back in the game as well after the first attempt. One top in 4 attempts at the moment, moves her up into 4th place at the moment, ahead of Eula Verm, currently in 5th with 1 top in 5. Eula has already attempted F2. No such luck for Stefano, though. Another question for you coming in here, Petra, from Magdalena, saying, how do you deal with stress and pressure before and during competitions?
Well, there are different methods. I mean, some athletes, they don't feel any stress or nervosity or something. Others, for example, they listen to music to kind of free the head a bit.
Do you?
Sometimes. Unfortunately, my iPod ran out of battery this competition. But
Do you not get funding for stuff like that? Does it do they not help out with iPods or whatever? It's part of the training, right?
yeah,
Right?
should be. But that's the problem of Apple, because they have 2 different adapters for iPhone 5 and iPod. That's my problem.
So the reason you're not in the finals tonight is because they've updated the chargers on the iPhones.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
I'm gonna write a letter. I'm gonna get onto them, sort it out.
No, but
So what do you do to deal with the stress? Is there a stress there, or do you treat it more as a kind of just get into your zen place and just forget about it
I
and
think
focus?
if it's too much stress, it's not good. So you have to train to lower that stress. In what way it is, I think it's really depending on the athlete. For me, also maybe a strange method, but learning, like for school or so, helps because I can focus on something else for a moment.
You bring it with you?
Not this time, because I have my exams last 2 weeks, so I had enough.
But normally you'd have like a textbook or something back there and
I
try
had in Toronto, I had my cards with me, and also a couple other times. And also for isolation to just get through with the time.
So basically just taking your mind off it, because that's
Exactly.
another subject to focus on.
Yeah. We have here Flash, if she manages, from Akio.
Nice little drop knee there. She is a fan of the drop knee.
Yeah, she is. Totally.
Crossing the hand underneath there. Moving on to the better part of the hold on that match.
Exactly. Nice run from Akio.
Very impressive for Akio Noguchi so far today. Interesting from Katie saying, I'm looking forward to seeing if Akio's amazing form is going to translate onto a lead wall. You do some lead climbing as well, right?
Well, I did some lead climbing. I'm not that into lead anymore, but I'm actually planning on going back again. Just for
This
fun,
year?
Because, yeah, maybe. Well, I'm hoping to be able to climb in at the World Championships lead to do the combination. Yeah, but it's not too easy to be selected for World Cups in lead in Swiss team. So I have to really train hard. And I don't like being pumped, so that's my problem.
How's your speed training coming along?
Well, I haven't trained for a year now or something like this. But like it's more my style. It's you need the power, you need the speed, and I would say I'm rather fast for that that I'm not really doing any speed. But yeah, at first I actually was planning on doing speed here, but because I injured my foot in Innsbruck, I decided not to do it.
A lot of support here for Gigi on the wall. Guillaume now up onto the bonus hold here. just as you said from earlier on as well, this kind of collection of block volumes at the top is showing us some different beaters. Gijón,
Exactly.
a completely different approach there.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be his last try now.
Yeah, 25 seconds left on the clock. Commentator here at the local MC is clearly a very big fan of Gijón Glaramondé. So Akio looking very, very good at this stage. She was already in first place with 1 flash earlier on. She's now got 2 flashes. She could be on for yet another gold medal here. That would make quite the difference to the overall standings. We look forward to
Up till
Laval.
now, one of the only ones with 2 goals.
Unfortunately, then no top for Gijón Glaramondé. Prepare for our next 2 athletes to come out. I'm looking forward to seeing both Jan and Shauna on this set here.
Yeah, especially Jan, who just cruised through the first problem like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And Sean set this example on the second problem now already, so I wonder how Jan's gonna do it.
The other thing for me is that this kind of a problem for Jan seems quite kind of like a power push through, just keep moving, and that's exactly Jan's style. He's just a beast when it comes to power moves.
Yeah, definitely.
So here we are. Shauna up onto F2.
Nice one there from Shauna.
Flash from Akio on this block so far.
And as you said, Jan is just powering it through.
You can see him fighting though,
Yeah.
really fighting
Yeah.
for it.
His biceps are like shivering, but he wouldn't let go. I think he knows that Sean did it, so he must do it.
There it is,
Nicely done.
a flash from Jan Hoyer. His second one of today, that's going to move him right back up to the top again.
But there's a flash from Shauna.
A flash from Shauna here. So we get ready to move over now onto M3 and F3. M3, this mirrored problem here. What do you make of this one, Petra?
It's hard to reach. I wouldn't know which way around I should go, actually. I guess it depends on the starting holes. So I guess we will see both ways. The women's problem looks interesting. Just to get in the starting position isn't easy at all.
So on our route setters were talking about the double toe hook that's needed on this one to then get over and onto the bones, which we're seeing now from Eula. She's currently in 5th place with 1 top in 5 attempts. She knows at this point that she needs to pull something out of the bag here. Chon Jung-woon over on M3 as well, having a look at the symmetrical problem here in front of him. So at the moment, both of our athletes down on the ground. Eula taking the time to rest up before pushing forward. Yeah, very tricky start at F3. She's getting her foot or 2 feet up inside the donut and then dropping one so that she can move up forward from there.
Just, I guess, one of the hardest moves is to get in this sort of position. And this one coming up, it's far.
Oh, unfortunately not there for Eula.
Hard one to get the swing there. To go.
Chong Jung-woon still on the ground on M3. What are we making of this one on M3 then? He's down again on the ground now, this symmetrical one. Multiple options here, moving up on the right or on the left, or is it kind of a combination of using both of them?
Well, I guess it's really better to go on first on the right side, but then you have to use it for footholds the other side, like left side, footholds or the undercling afterwards. But I would say it's possible to go around both ways.
Another attempt here for Eula Worm. Just as the timer runs out, unfortunately, trying to get over and up around that bonus. Not quite enough for Eula Worm. Tough run here for her. Chong Jung-woon down on the ground again here. Get ready to welcome our next two athletes. Question for you here, Petra. As a climber, are you often surprised at the style of competition boulders compared to what you train on normally?
Not really, actually, because we try to train boulders as they are in the competition. So we adapt our training to the competition style.
Do you yourself set your own blocks at your own gym?
Sometimes I set them on my own, or we have the lucky chance that we have Money Hustler, who also sets for World Cup sometimes, who sometimes comes and sets for us. So we have different kind of World Cup styles, or we take the chance and go in another gym for other styles, for example, Munich or Sheffield, for example, we were at as well. And yeah, you find different boulders everywhere. And yeah, as I said, I think the point is that you have to adapt on what the route setters plan. If there's a new style coming up, you have to train it.
Is that the kind of thing that you can only really find out by attending the events or watching them online if you see something new that's coming through? What would you use as an example of that? Have you seen styles change over the past few years?
Surely I would say that like the dynamic style, especially with the women, is coming up or was coming up. For example, when I started my first Boulder World Cups, there was barely a jump or a really dynamic move in the women's part. And now it's actually normal. Or another example would be the run and jumps. They came up lately, like a couple of 2-3 years ago. And yeah, I think Alex Kucha, she told me once that she's not good in it and she has to train them. So yeah, as I said, you have to adapt.
Alex really didn't like the run and jumps.
No.
I can remember after finishing in Mio last year,
Yeah,
she stayed on
exactly.
the mats after everyone went off to party. We never get to party. We're always packing down the venue and sorting things out. But everyone would have to party, and Alex was just on the mat, repetitively trying the run and jump again and again. Try and get her head around it.
Yeah, I think there she actually missed her the podium because of her run and jump.
Okay, we were talking about the differences in style and height and body shape of certain athletes. And if you're a smaller climber, you tend to be more able to deal with the compression type moves, the squeezing yourself into small spaces, but struggle sometimes on the reachier moves. As a taller athlete, you can deal with those reachier moves, but you have a lot of problems with squeezing yourself into small spaces. So would you say that one of the best things to train if you were a taller athlete was probably the core?
Yeah, the core surely, and to be flexible, to get the feet up really high. So not just being flexible, but to really be able to take the feet up actively, and also to still have the body close to the wall. On the other hand, I think it's also important, as you said, the whole core part, that you can use your size. If there's a long move, use the advantage you have, but you need the power then as well to be able to stand on the foothold where others can't.
What about body weight ratio? Because that's something that Jan has definitely tried to put into effect this year. He's really slimmed down, cut down, focused on trying to get his body weight ratio as he wants it, because he is a taller athlete, much bigger muscle mass, and obviously the muscles, they're a heavier mass to deal with when you're on the wall. So he's kind of slimmed down a little bit here as well. Is it something that you actively have to be aware of as a professional athlete, how much you're managing your body weight ratio when it is as important as it is for climbing? As you can see here, just as before you answer, Petra, we're just having a brief pause whilst they pop something on the wall here. The ring set is just making some adjustments before we welcome our next two athletes out. So Petra, that question.
It's really an important aspect of climbing, because it's the weight you have to carry up. So I guess you can really see it in lead climbing, where you have to hold on long, they're thinner, and the weight sometimes is even a problem that they get too thin. In bouldering it's less, because it's more, you need the power, but surely I guess everybody needs just the perfect balance between like weight and muscles, and yeah, because as you said, Jan is rather the powerful person. He's not able to kind of get under a certain amount of kilos, because otherwise he will not manage to use his power. But on the other hand, there are other climbers which don't need as much power because they're just lighter. But that's also actually the nice thing about climbing. Almost all people can climb. It's not like in basketball, where if you're short, and you have no chance.
So Sean just making an attempt there on that one. Now some people were saying earlier he could have damaged his left knee. Do we think he's had a bit of a twinge or something? just then he had his left foot up on the blue pinch plate, just as he's exactly putting it on now. And when he pushed up for that hold, it did seem like he didn't want to put much pressure on that left leg as he pushed up towards the next hold.
It seemed like, but now on the ground, he looks pretty normal. He's walking around normally. Sometimes it just hurts for a moment or in a certain movement, but afterwards it's okay again, which I hope for him. But we have here, like Anna, in a really good try here.
Trying to sort out what she's doing with the foot here. Just see her start to slip on that one then as soon as the right hand came up, trying to get the left one up to try and guppy it a little bit stronger, but just slipping off the edge. Sean here then, another attempt. Trying the other way this time is the advantage you've got as symmetrical blocks. And that's the other thing, if it was that bad for him, if he really had twinged that left leg, he probably wouldn't keep trying it the same way. If you've got the option as it is identical, it's symmetrical.
Well, the starting holds aren't symmetrical, so that could be the problem why everybody goes right side.
You mean the two hand holds there?
Yeah, exactly. Because, yeah, well, they're pretty symmetrical. But also the right side is mostly the stronger side of an athlete.
You said the right side of an athlete is the stronger side of an athlete?
Mostly, yeah.
How do you come to that conclusion?
Well, we kind of seen it lately in training, that on the campus, for example, the right side is more often stronger than the left side, just because you're like, or the right-handed people, yeah, they do more with the right side than with the left side.
So you think it's because people tend to be predominantly right-handed, and because of that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So Anna really not having a good time of things here. It's getting into her head more likely at this stage now. She's struggled on her way through this one. Sean having a tough time of things on M3. We move over onto our next pairing now. Just wait for our next athletes to come out. Brief look for you here. Those are the women's results as they stand at the moment. Akira Gucci at the top there, Shauna Coxey in second, Anna Straw at the moment in third. And there's the men's for you as well as we get ready to welcome Stefano Gazolfi and Dinara Fakhretdinova. Sean was having a tough time of getting up onto the bonus hold on M3 here. What do you think it is about that move? Moving up from the right-hand side, getting the foot up onto the blue pinch block and then pushing up. What's the problem here for him?
I think it's because the right hand is really bad, but I think it's just a hard move. It's like everybody's struggling on that move. I don't know what one could do better. Maybe try with a toe hook on the blue, pull rather than push. I don't know. Also a problem because, as we can see, the sun is shining on the wall now, so it's getting pretty warm there. that's a big problem of holding the holds.
It has cooled somewhat from earlier, though, do you think?
Yeah, but it depends because at the wall it's still, the wall is pretty warm. I noticed that while climbing that near the wall it's much warmer than like 2-3 meters behind. Here's like where we're sitting 5 meters behind, it's a little wind going, but there's no wind just before the blocks. She's pretty stretched out here.
A lot smaller than some of the other athletes. This is one of the things about height advantages. She's rocking away across here. It's looking like she's considering a different tactic.
Yeah, feet first, maybe.
It's fantastic to see her trying to work as hard as she can around.
She can hold on H.
The difficulties that she's got here with her physique on a problem like this, on that move over to the bonus. Being sure to know if she went feet first, how would she get around getting across? Because she's still got to do the reach across to get her hand over there eventually.
Yeah, maybe she could have just kind of pulled with her feet to get the hand over, but it's hard. It's really a hard tactic.
The 1 minute alarm has gone, so Stefano fighting again here. Just like Sean and the ones that we've seen before, really having a tough time of things.
Inara also getting tired from pushing up into the shoulder.
It must be quite mentally jarring as well when you can't see another way around a certain point on the wall. It's literally just that you have to try and do it when you have a disadvantage because of something.
Yeah, just before I could see her smiling and kind of shaking her head.
And she's calling it there on that one.
Yeah.
Stefano's pulling on though for one last attempt. Wide pinch here with the left hand, feet coming up. For him, it's been this move, and again, it costs him here. That little accurate push up with the right hand. So no bonus for him on that one. Moments, results more or less standing as they were earlier on. So Kia Noguchi comes out for us and Guillaume Mondet onto M3. I saw Guillaume in, I think it was Kitzbühel last year, doing some really good work on the donut holes there that nobody else could see. And it was a problem more or less similar to this. Nobody else seemed to be able to figure out how to work with what they had in front of them. It was kind of technical, but kind of fiddly. And there was 3 or 4 donut holes and he just kind of got stuck in the middle. But he held on for a very long time. He was just moving around on the wall, trying to figure out what he could do. Maybe this will be more fitting of his style.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, also, like getting into the crimp on the right side, it's really a move where you have to precisely fit in. Like, it has to fit. You can't be like 1 millimeter to the left or to the right. And I think he's really good in kind of these target moves. You see Akio here now on the bonus hold and not quite.
People saying that the last move on F3 looks really, really hard. But at the moment, the move onto the bonus is costing most of the female athletes their attempts.
Yeah, I wonder how the last move to the top works.
What is the best way you would go about doing that? Once you've got the left hand over onto the bonus, I'm guessing, is it heel up into the right volume, and then
go up to the triangle on the gray one. Then I think you must change to toe hook, kind of just roll over and get the donuts. And yeah, another solution I wouldn't know. Because as soon as you kind of let go of the pressure on the right toe, you can't hold on to the volume on the left side.
Kyo earlier on today didn't manage to actually finish up on the last block that we had in the qualies. Several attempts on that one, but didn't manage to do it. Shauna Coxey managed all 4 of the blocks, was the only female athlete to do that. But so far in this final, Akio Noguchi has been dominating the competition. 2 flashes. This is the first time we've seen her stumble so far today, and she's asking the crowd for a bit of support here now as well. Still down on the ground, 30 seconds left to go here, and Akio Noguchi making another attempt. No problem with the first section. For this movement, they're getting the toe hooks in there now. Alarm about to go to sound that these guys are now in their 4+ minute time. If they fall now, that's it. The last attempt for them on this one. Could Akio be about to drop a block here, or is she going to manage to carry on? Gijón is down on M3, and unfortunately so is Akio as well. So no top so far on F3. Akio Noguchi has been stumped by this one. We've seen all of our athletes struggle on F3. Gijón down as well on M3. We've seen nobody get to the top on either of these blocks as of yet. So next up, Jan Hoyer and Shauna Coxey. Are they going to be able to manage to show us that problem 3 for both men and women can be dealt with? Shauna taking a moment to have a look at this one. Jan doing no such thing. I am starting right now. The power is on. So straight up to the wide pinch.
Easy lock off here from him.
Straight in there.
But even he has his troubles to get to the
that's
bonus.
the move that caught Sean earlier on as well. So
yeah,
it's going to be an interesting one. Do you think there's anything in getting the right foot up onto that red crimp hold you can see there, lower down? Once you've got that sort of Gaston in the gap?
I don't think so. I think it's too high up. I think just after getting the bonus hold, you can step on that one. Seeing Shauna here, pretty good try up till now, but the hard move is coming now, so.
Just going to try and push up with the left here. No such luck. Jan trying for it. One of the funny things is that Thomas Alessi was saying earlier on that although it's an unusual beater at the start of this one, he said once they get it, it should be relatively easy, that it's not too tricky, this one, on M3. It's proving to be an extremely tricky one so far.
I'm actually not sure if Jan could just jump up to the bonus hold.
To the very top, yeah?
Yeah, to the top, for sure. No, but we've seen it a couple of times from him to just skip an amount of holds.
Yeah, earlier today in the semis, he just did F1, M1, however he felt like doing it.
Yeah.
Didn't get into the roof at all. I mean, he tried it once, but could see that because he was a taller athlete, he was struggling with trying to press out into the roof section, so he just bypassed it and went straight into a dyno.
Yeah, I remember last year in Munich, there was like a slab kind of boulder, starting also on a volume with all 4 starting positions. And it would have gone like all the way to the left, but he just jumped up to the top.
He's taking some time here now, though. He's had a couple of attempts at this one, and it's not gone the way that he'd intended it to. So he's trying to have another bit of a reread, as is Shauna down on the ground again.
Oh, he's got it now.
Here we are. So now he takes that foothold with the right foot. Trying something different, managing to hold on to it.
He's fighting hard.
He doesn't want to have to do that one again. He's got the heel up here now as well.
One
Very
hand on the
impressive
top.
from Jan Hoyer here. Fantastic finish on M3.
Nice.
There it is, secured.
But still,
35,
up to matching the second hand, he was fighting.
35 seconds left on the clock he had then. A fall there would have been disastrous for him. That's why he was forcing his way up that one as much as he could. Jan has definitely got beast mode on today. 20 seconds left on the clock. It looks like Shauna's going to be calling it there on that one. So no top on F3 at all at this stage of the comp. So we move on to our final blocks then, F4 and M4. M4 looks crazy. This entire roof section and wedging yourself into the corner before moving around again.
Yeah.
F4 as well. What are we thinking of this one?
F4 looks powerful. I hope they still have enough power after the F3. But it looks nice, let's say. Like a lot of a bit shorter moves, with kind of going on and then catching back again on, for example, on the green banana. First with left, they can go on and get the swing on the banana again with the right hand.
Here are the current results for you on the screen at the moment then. Jan Hoyer dominating here. The results that we have are no flashes so far for Jan Hoyer. Just two attempts on the first problem, 2 attempts on the second one. Which is strange because both of us were sure that he flashed at least one of them. Apparently not. Coming through that we have 2 attempts on both of the blocks.
Yule doesn't take any time to look at the boulder again.
Up into this roof section then.
That one looks scary with the foot in. I think the M4 is really hard to read. You have multiple choices and yeah, I wouldn't know how to read the boulder. I think I would just decide to start and see what's coming on.
Another attempt then from Mueller on the ground, looking a little bit tired and worn at the moment. Let's see how she gets on. Taking the time to rest up before a little push here. Very impressive there from Chong Jung-woon onto the bonus. Big swing out there from him. That's got to be pretty positive then, that handhold underneath
Yeah,
there.
probably it's really good, but
That was
still.
a big Superman move then. Yep, it's looking like we're going for the head jam. Shauna Coxey coined this one a little while back. It didn't work then and it's not working now either.
First move on F4 seems really far and hard.
Yeah, Euler down on the ground, still here. 1 minute and 35 seconds roughly left on the clock here. So Sean has definitely got the first little sequence down there on how to get into the bonus. Just not quite sure where he's going from there by the look of things. We were speaking to Thomas Alexi earlier on. He was talking about the key to M4 is getting up onto where the banana shapes are. There's 2 green bananas on the wall here, one on the lower pyramids, and then one up on the actual side roof section as well. Being able to navigate through those is the key to the overall block, he was saying earlier. Then again, he did call M3 easy, so I'm not going to trust anything that man says. Oof, not quite managing it this time. John?
What was the first one?
Euler's struggling to start here on this one.
It looks just like a little bit too far for her.
Some support from the crowd for the athletes here. Managing to hold it, pushed away from the wall again. Awkward swing back there from John. Manages to hold it. He's got his feet up now. Timer has gone, which means Euler, unfortunately, is going to be sitting in at least 5th place here at the finals. Good performance from her, but unfortunately not enough to see a podium position here. Okay, so feet up onto the first banana here.
Yeah, you really have to push into the corner here.
It looks like that left foot was a little bit too high. He'd gone to the banana maybe too soon. Couldn't quite tract enough to get into the corner to then start moving from it.
Yeah, I think the main point here is to really be able to push out of the arm. But it's a power move. Raw power actually. So
So we wait for our next 2 athletes to come out. Then the current standings at the moment, Jan Hoya and Akira Noguchi right at the top of their respective piles. Shauna Coxey in second, Sean McCall in second. And that's kind of the competition at the moment in terms of athletes that are frequently putting out the tops. Everyone else with the men really having a tough time with things. At the moment, the 3rd place goes to Guillaume Garamonde, the current moment in time, with just 2 bonuses in 4 attempts. No tops so far. In the women's, the 3rd place at the moment is Anna Storr with 1 top in 3, 2 bonuses in 6. Nice and quick there from Tomoa. Similar tactic though.
yeah, so you have to push over.
This is interesting. Oof.
Close one.
Not entirely sure what happened there. He's smiling on the mat though, so he's obviously having a good time.
Yeah, I think here it's really important to get the weight on the foot that you can push out of the arms. Because if you press into the arms, it's hard to push out.
Yeah, your head just starts to slide into
Yeah.
the volume below it.
And shouldn't go head down.
Camille.
It seems as she has the same problem as Yule, that she can't really get up to the pink volume holds, like as if the reach isn't enough.
This first section here, is it not intended as a mantle? Is there not anything with getting the foot up into the black volume to the left
think so.
side? It seems like she's just going straight away for the...
Yeah, first you have to go and
crimp.
get the pink crimp and then the feet over onto the black one. Then change the hand to be able afterwards to push up. Yeah, exactly like she's doing now.
Some crazy positioning going on there from Tomoa. One minute roughly left on the clock here for both of these guys. For a few more attempts just yet.
So they're both resting and searching for solutions. A little bit different than we saw before.
He's definitely got the beat down at the start of this one. He knows exactly where he's going and what he's doing now. It's just from this point here, he's not entirely sure what to do on that one. Yeah, he hasn't been stopped. He's managed to make it on. Both feet were on the starting positions. He's got another attempt here. And Akamio also pushing for it. Is there any other way of possibly approaching F4 and not having to go for that slope up?
I really don't see another solution actually. Because the holds are so bad on the bottom that you have to be able to push up. And the only way, I don't know if you could push up on the black volume, but it's even further away. So we're seeing here quite the show from him.
Yeah, it's looking like Tomo's just trying to put on a kind of a acrobatic finish.
Yeah.
He's going out in style. Fantastic to watch.
He was fighting.
No tops from him. One bonus by the look of things, though. For Nagasaki Tomoa. We get ready to welcome our next athletes out. Stefano Ghisolfi.
Sean and Anna coming.
Oh, I've got my wires crossed. I thought it was Stefano next. It's not. It's Sean and Anna. Apologies.
I think we can see something from Sean here.
Well, he's smaller than a lot of the other athletes, so this is going to help him with getting up into that corner and manoeuvring a little bit easier.
Jumping directly.
Does it just be that just thought the face was just inches away from the corner of that pyramid?
Yeah.
Is you thinking that one as well?
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was
worrying
close.
for a moment
It was
there.
close.
Sean trying to push out here. Racing with his back, trying to figure out what he's doing from this point onwards. Back down again.
I'm not sure if it's really the right solution like this, because it seems as if you wouldn't have enough space for the whole body to get in the corner.
this way every time. I'm not entirely sure which way around, other than this, go about it. Every athlete so far has just automatically gone for this approach.
Yeah. Nice
This
one.
is interesting.
It's not over yet.
Oh, unfortunately not enough, but 2 minutes 20 left on the clock. Time for Sean to have another go yet. Anna, at the moment, still on the ground. F4 so far disappointing for these athletes. Anna taking her time. Sean just trying to catch his breath by the look of things here after that performance. Stretching out a little bit. On your screen at the moment then, the women's standings at present. Anna Stora in third. Shauna Coxey in second, and Akira Gucci still in first. Shauna and Akio still yet to climb here on F4. Minutes 13 left on the clock. Sean's really taking his time about this one. Took him a little time just to go through the beater at the upper section of the wall. You can see that's what he was doing when he first got down. It's looking like a lot of that time he spent in rest just. See then in the bottom right, left-hand corner of your screen some of the standings as they are at the moment.
But a good attempt from Anna here. New solution with standing upright in the green volume and going dynamically on the pink.
Anna back down though, still not quite sure what to do there. Sean up to the bonus then. Heel hook. Just as the time limit runs out there. Sean McCall back down on the ground. Happy with his performance, clearly. Not quite enough to get up towards the top.
I think he used all his power in the first try there. With going down again and...
Do you think there's anything to be said for trying to go straight towards the green banana on F4? Ignoring the pink sloper?
I think the green one is really bad. So you better aim for the pink one. I'm not sure, but... Yeah. This is even further away, the green one.
Trying the same tactic as Sean there, but just with one hand. Gave him a big swing out. Let's see if he tries it again as a complete double dyno. Okay, question here. How many points is for first, second, and third place? What does Shauna need to do if it's Akio first and Shauna second today? The rankings can be found on the IFSC's webpage, ifsc-climbing.org. You can just type IFSC into Google, find it on there. The overall World Cup rankings are on there and you can browse through them. It's 100 points for a first place position, 80 points for a second place position, and 65 points for a third. And it starts to move down further, then they get into different increments after them, and they're quite difficult to remember. But the first, second, and third is 100, then 80, then 65. At the moment, Shauna is ahead. I was working it out with one of the judges earlier on today, Tim. But it's pretty close, right down to the line for all of those athletes. The top three at the moment. Anna is further behind Akio and Shauna. But even with a win here today from Akio and a silver place to Shauna, it's only a 20-point difference between those two athletes, which can easily be made up again with Shauna then taking the gold medal in Laval and Akio taking the silver. They'll be back to as they are in this standing at the present moment in the time with Shauna in the lead. After that, I think it goes to a two-space gap, so Akio would need to be fourth and Shauna would need to be in second to make up the amount of points if Akio wins here today. But it's pretty close. It's looking like this year it's going to come down to Laval for the top three podium positions on the overall World Cup ranking. It's going to be between Anna, Shauna, and Akio. Akio's looking pretty strong at the moment, though, for it. Stefano managing that jump to the bonus now.
Also, he having trouble with pushing into this corner.
Denara having the same problems that we've seen from every other female athlete that's attempted F4 at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I think this second move is just a little bit too far because they barely can reach on top of the volume. And if you get up there dynamically, for Dinara it's almost impossible because she has to loosen the lower hand. And to stick on this one with one hand, yeah, would be almost a miracle, I would say. But here Tizovi giving his last try.
It's a good effort. Definitely there from Stefano Gazolfi. Unfortunately, not quite enough.
But I think he will be satisfied after all. And he still has his lead tomorrow.
Yes. And it's a good job that he's not tried on for speed this time as well, because speed's just been moved to tomorrow, guys. Just to remind you again, the finals for speed will be in between the lead comp tomorrow. We've got lead semi-finals kick-starting things off in the morning. That'll be followed by the speed finals and then on to the lead finals at night. So Stefano's kind of missed a bullet there, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was thinking about doing all the three, but it's hard. In like 3 days, 3 disciplines, yeah, you're used to doing just one in the same time. Guillaume trying with his left hand to jump into the jug up there.
You can't see much of the hold. He's definitely turned onto the slant, the left would.
And we're seeing Noguchi here as first girl to succeed on the pink hold.
She's managed to get her foot up as well here on the right-hand side. Taking it slow here. Both of our athletes looking pretty good at this moment. Akio down as she makes the move for the bonus.
Guillaume pushing out more into the corner.
Very, very interesting to see someone as tall as Guillaume Claremonde doing as well with this crazy flexibility moment here. He's trying some
to bring
very
back
strange
the
things
foot.
right now. It's working.
It's not too bad because once he gets his foot up there, he's pretty stable, I think, but it's hard to get it up.
Not quite enough, but a fantastic first approach on here for M4.
Both still resting. I know Kyo
minute.
giving her next attempt now.
1 minute 30 left on the clocks here. Kiyo's definitely got down the first section.
She has only doesn't try to turn the hand on the green part of the volume, but lets it on top on the gray part, which is higher up, which is an advantage, but it's not as good to push in.
Was the transition onto the pink sloper as quick as she just attempted it, or was that just a bit too dynamic?
Well, in the last attempt, she did it almost the same, maybe a bit less dynamically. But I think it's like, if you do it like this, it's like a moment move. You have to have some speed, but not too much. Now trying like the others, and you can clearly see here that she managed to reach up directly to the pink one, where the others just didn't have the span right for such a move. For example, Dinara, she barely could touch it, or just touched it at the bottom of the hold.
She's going for a heel hook here to get the bonus, and that is the bonus for her. She has 7 seconds here to get back on the wall, and she now knows it. She's run back. Oh, shaking her head at the last here.
But we still have Guillaume here on his last try. He did look really strong before. Much faster now, which spares a lot of power.
Back up into this position though. Trying to force his foot with his hand there into the position he wanted it to be in.
I think it's almost impossible to get out. New solution.
Trying the same thing with the other leg now. The timer has run out. Right behind him, that's an incredible amount of flexibility there. And time to take a rest for a moment. Guillaume Gléron-Mondé.
Shaking out his arms.
Phenomenal flexibility here for the French athlete. Okay, now what? He says.
We saw already Sean in similar position with the hand on this one. Tried to jump to the last hole, so.
Not quite sure where to go from here. He's going to try and...
And I actually think it's not easy to get out of this position again.
He's managed to go back to where he was earlier.
Yeah.
No. Changing his mind. Just not quite sure at all where he's going to go from here at the moment. Yep, leaning forward a little bit now. He's just going to risk it by the look of things. Unfortunately, not enough.
But it was a good attempt.
I have no idea how this is supposed to be done from that point onwards.
I think in this situation he was now, you somehow have to turn around yeah, it would be better if he would look into the wall and not out to the public. But somehow both hands on the banana, otherwise you can't go to the top hold. Impossible how he tried it, I guess.
Do you think there's any way of, once they get the left foot up onto that first banana there, if they could send the heel back into the first hold that we've seen them dynoing to, or even that plate behind it, and just keep facing inwards to the wall? Because it's clear that once you have that grip on the second banana hold that Gijón was wedged up his head near a moment ago, that you're going to need to have the left hand on net to then pop up for the top, right? You kind of have to keep facing the wall, so there must be a way.
It's better, yeah. Or as Sean did it, he was there with his left hand, like just push up till you can reach the green and then try to get up the foot.
So this is what Jan's doing now,
yeah,
to
exactly
face inwards all the time.
And then
He's trying a toe hook maybe?
or lean out and get pressure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Lean out, pressure on the hold.
Very, very nearly getting a hand up to the top there.
But we also have Shauna Coxey in a really good position here.
Now all Shauna has to do to take gold here is top this one. I know that sounds ridiculous after we've seen so many people struggle as hard as they have, but it doesn't matter in any attempts or anything. Akio with 2 flashes and 3 bonuses in 3. Shauna Coxey with 2 tops in 4, 3 bonuses in 5.
We see Jan here playing
Jan
the gentleman, brushing for
Going to
Shauna.
help Shauna instead.
It's not bad. Like this, he uses his break. I think I've never seen that in my whole life.
I've not seen that before.
I guess all girls are gonna run behind him now. They're just hoping to get the possibility to climb next to him, that he's gonna brush their boulders.
Not quite enough this time, Jan. He's going to take more of a break. Stop moonlighting in the break in between. Just sit down for a bit.
But he's still got 2 minutes left, so enough time to send the boulder.
A lot of people showing their support for Gijón Galera-Mondet, just that incredible attempt on M4. It might not have been anything near where he should have been in the beta, but it was a very impressive feat. Shauna with another attempt here now then. This to potentially make the difference between a gold and silver medal. Securing the silver. Is there any chance she can challenge Akio at this late stage in the game to the top of the podium? Jan Haiyang has already won. He's just here for fun at this stage. 3 tops in 8 attempts against Sean's 2 in 5. The only 2 male athletes who have actually topped anything here in the finals. Jan already has his gold medal, which is probably why he's messing around and cleaning blocks.
Probably he knows, yes. But I think his ego is too big to just not try the boulder anymore. So he's gonna try hard to top.
That could have been really, really awkward then. His neck was at a very strange angle.
Yeah, and also his knee didn't look really healthy. Like a dropped knee and falling out is never good. See another attempt here from Shauna. Trying to get gold. Come on, Shauna.
Imagine to get to this point. For a second time here now. Oh, just slipping and coming away from the wall. 5 seconds left. Come on, Shauna, one more attempt. No, she's going to call it there, I think, and settle for the silver. Not so for Jan Haiyang, though. He was refusing to bow down. Using another arm up there to try and limit the swing out.
Gonna rest a little bit. Would be nice to see another top here. Better position again.
This is how we saw Sean earlier on getting into this position. Oh, couldn't quite hold it with the left. Not enough for that final perfect run here, but very impressive from Jan Hoyer with 3 tops. Incredible performance from all of our athletes. Jan Hoyer takes another gold here now. Time now for me to try and get prepared and set up for some interviews. Bear with us for a couple of seconds, guys, but we just get ready for these interviews. I'm going to be grabbing some of the athletes and chatting to them very shortly. So we're just trying to set up for these interviews now for you. Won't be 2 seconds, trying to find Jan and get everybody together so that we can get this sorted. Please bear with us for a moment. Well, we are now joined by our silver medalist here, Shauna Coxey. Shauna, how are you?
Hot and tired, but good, yeah.
Still hot now? I thought it got quite cool now.
No, I've got hot since it's finished, but yeah. It's starting to rain, so maybe I'll cool down.
How did you find them in general?
The whole competition? Or just...
This final?
Okay. They were okay. I mean, the second one was disgusting and unnecessary, as were the third and fourth ones, but you know, the first one was okay.
So not much to your liking then?
No, I don't think they're the best boulders. I don't think they have been, but maybe that's down to the hold selection because it's not the best here. But yeah, you get some comps like this. So.
You seem to cope pretty well with it throughout, though. I know you were saying yesterday as well during the qualifications that the heat, the humidity has been a bit of a problem while you were here, the blocks, everything else. Have you coped well, do you think, under the conditions?
Yeah, definitely. I've coped better than I thought I would, so I'm really happy with that. I'm not usually very good with heat and humidity, so I think I've done a lot better than I would normally, so yeah, I'm really happy.
Just to draw your attention then back over to the World Cup rankings as they are at the moment, because it's getting towards that end part of the year now. You've got one more competition yet to come, and at the moment it's all about you, Anna, and Akio in that top 3 spots.
Yeah.
Now, how much attention as a climber and as an athlete do you pay to the rankings and everything else?
Personally, I haven't looked at them once, but everyone keeps telling me about them, so yeah, I know quite a bit, and everyone's interested in the points and stuff, but I don't really focus too much on the overall, because I can't really do anything about it, but go to the comps and compete, so that's more my focus, so yeah. I guess Akio's in the lead now, but I wouldn't know.
On that note, are we going to see you at Laval next week? It's the end of the year, it's the big final push, and then a break before the champs?
Of course, yeah, definitely, I can't wait.
Shauna, thank you for talking to us. Congrats on a silver.
Thank you very much.
Sean, hi. That was crazy. The end of that one, it was the most bizarre end problem I've seen. What did you think of it?
Well, it was definitely a dihedral. We didn't really even know how to do the first move, but back in ISO, we knew tries. We knew Jan had done 3. I knew I had to flash it. I maybe had 2 tries. I didn't really know, but I knew if I flashed it, I'd put pressure on Jan to have to do it to win. So that was really motivating. I got all the way to that, yeah, we'll call it the last move, and I just couldn't do it, but it was close, and so I'm really happy with how I did.
It was a very impressive run through the entire comp, considering how hard a lot of the other athletes have found it. I mean, obviously it was clear to us from watching as well that you were finding it hard as well. All of you were today. What did you make of the blocks as a whole?
I liked the finals much more than the semifinals. The semifinals were very hard, the finals were very hard as well, but they were possible. I mean, 1, 2, and 3 all got done. It's hard to say when they're too hard or not hard enough, because I think on a good day, a lot of the competitors do 2 boulders, maybe even 3. Me on a good day, maybe I do 4. So, I don't know, they were good boulders, they were much better than semifinals, so overall I'm pretty happy with the finals.
This final block, you had a lot of support from the crowd as soon as you made that first double dyno. You just bypassed the first sequence and just went, I'm going to jump for it. Was that a decision you'd made prior, or was that something that you just decided to do on spur of the moment?
We previewed a few different sequences. We all thought actually we were going to go with our left hands first and then kind of do a jump. And then I got out there, I kind of put my foot up, and I was like, well, it's not too far. I think I can just do it. And so I knew I really had to flash the boulder, so I went with that, and yeah, it worked out.
And finally, just to wrap up, you're competing in every category that was ever created, every discipline. You've been climbing speed earlier on today. You did the semi-finals in bouldering. Are you here for lead as well?
Yep, I'm in the semi-finals tomorrow. I'll climb around 20th. And then if I make it to finals, I'll be climbing in the finals as well.
Is this because it's now that push towards the World Champs and you're going for the combined?
It's because the World Championships are separated, it won't be as hard as this comp. This comp's probably the hardest comp I've done in a long time. There's 3 disciplines and it's in 3 days, where even Paris in 2012 was 3 disciplines over 5 days. So it's definitely a challenge, and I'm always up for a challenge, so just try to do it.
Just testing your mettle?
Yeah, just testing what I can do, and yeah, we'll see how it pans out.
Sean, thank you for talking to us. Congratulations, silver medal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, I'm going to say goodbye to you now from here. Petra, come in and say goodbye to everybody. We've had the pleasure of being with Petra Klinger all the way through this evening. Have you enjoyed chatting?
Yeah, it was fun here.
Crazy final?
Yeah, was interesting till the end.
Okay, we're going to be back tomorrow morning with the semi-finals in lead in the morning, then moving on to the finals for the speed, and then on to the finals for the lead as well. All of the award ceremonies and all of our interviews and chats will be happening tomorrow evening, so I will get everyone for you. Please bear with us, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks for being with us, and good night.